What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Crypto Glasgow YouTube channel, Volume 2. So you might have seen the last vlog from last week, or I say vlog, video, but we're going to be moving into vlogs, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, sorry I'm out of breath. You might have seen I just done some press ups to try and build some confidence for this video, but you'll see the video now. So it's about 20 minutes long. It's basically just our live from tonight on Instagram, which is at crypto.glasgow. Give us a follow, watch the IGTV. If you've missed any of it, you can watch the past 5 or 6 weeks. Anyway, enjoy the video.
It's good to just get a wee pump before it.
Hello.
Hi everyone.
Welcome.
It's your two favourite crypto lads.
Hi. So we've got a few things to talk about. We're going to talk about Pluto.
Plutus as well.
Plutus, the Ethereum breakout, and some stuff about the course as well. And then any questions that you need answered, we'll answer some questions as well.
We'll kick off with Ethereum. Why not? Is there a better topic to start off? I don't think so. So obviously you've seen the past 2 days I've been posting up and Dex been posting up about the Ethereum breakout, which is insane. So yesterday, well it was last night actually, about 11 o'clock, it broke out from 242, I think it was, 244, up to 269, and then it broke out about an hour ago as well. So it tested 269, 270, come back down a little bit to about 260, and it's pumped back up to 270. I think it actually touched 280. And then retested and it's sitting about the 270, 274 mark. So mental news. Exciting, aye, very exciting. The good thing as well is nothing's actually really happened. Like the Ethereum 2.0, as you may or may not know, has been postponed once again. It was actually meant to go live maybe last year at some point, and it keeps getting put off and put off and put off, which is fine. I'm pretty happy, Deck's pretty happy, and most people that are filling their bags with Ethereum are pretty happy, because we're getting it at a decent price, a very, very decent price actually. So there was news that came out yesterday or the day before that the testnet for Ethereum 2.0, because they need to obviously test the full thing first before they can actually launch it. So the first testnet goes live August 4th, which is what, like 2 weeks away, I think it is. So the 4th of August, the testnet goes live, so I'm expecting probably more breakouts in Ethereum over the next kind of week or two, because this is what happens. We kind of posted about the Syscoin stuff as well. We'll touch on that later, but the Syscoin thing, we kind of spoke about that, saying they've got an announcement coming. That was about 4 days ago. It pumped 217%, then it came back down a little bit, and then when the news came out again, it pumped. As you've seen, we posted it up. So you need to kind of ride the waves, and that's something that we'll obviously help you learn and understand, how to ride the waves and when to cash out, when to kind of let go. Deck's got a point he wants to touch on later on about cashing out on altcoins, because some of these smaller altcoins are amazing for pumps and you'll make silly returns. I'm talking thousands of %, but
They're just illiquid.
Exactly, and what that means basically is it's harder to pull your money back out. But again, I'll let Deck touch on that more in a bit. But that's it for Ethereum. It's probably still pumping right now. Let's do a quick live check. Well, it's up 12.5% steady for the day, but it's currently sitting at 275. So, like I said, it peaked to about 280 and it's come down a little bit. So, let's have a look. Just a little bit of consolidation, which is
275. So that's a good accumulation range. What's its all-time high?
But 14?
$1,300 all-time high, and it's sitting at
275.
275, and the 2.0 isn't even live yet. So
aye. The good thing about majority of these projects is when they do go live, they tend to return to all-time highs and then surpass the all-time highs. So that's a good way, again, that you can maybe look, if you're going to buy or look into an altcoin, you can maybe judge it on its previous all-time high or whatever it may be. And again, we teach you all that, and we'll help you along the way throughout the course and just throughout the members, the Telegram. So, but next, I'll let Deck cover off a little bit more.
Yep. So we get asked today, like, how long does the course take? How long does it take to do, basically? So it depends really on the person how long you want to spend on it. You could do the course in a day, basically, but we obviously wouldn't recommend that. It's hard to digest all the information, especially with it being new technology, new information that you've maybe never seen before. So it's maybe best to spend a week on it, but don't just go through the course once and then just kind of start investing straight away. You can go through it twice, 3 times, just build up your knowledge, and then you can make your own decisions on what you want to invest in yourself through that, rather than just having a quick glance and then just throwing your money in. It's better that you're making your own decisions and investing what you believe in and what you think can break out higher, basically.
Essentially, when you're comfortable that you've read it enough times, then it's time to go, essentially, and make your investment. But as Deck's saying, it's really up to you if you take 1 day, whether you take 4, 5, 6 days. But we would say, reading it, I've read it a few times myself. It's hard going book like cover to cover, if you like. You can do it. Obviously, it's easy. It's like reading a book. Everyone can read a book, but it's whether you take it in or not and actually understand what's going on. And I can guarantee that you won't for the first or second, or maybe even the third time that you read it. 1, because there's that much info. 2, because like Deck says, it's such a new kind of asset class. There's still a lot to learn and a lot of words that you've maybe never seen before. A lot of terms that you've never seen before, especially if you've not got a finance background. If you're into investments and you're into maybe like property development and into kind of entrepreneurship, then you might know a lot of the terms, but chances are you might not. So that's why it can take longer sometimes than it would be for other people. But again, it's all to do with how you take it in and when you feel comfortable.
And if you're doing the course as well, just make sure you're writing down any information that you think will help you, basically. So the same way if you were reading a book, you would highlight certain bits of the book that resonate with you. So just make sure that you've got a pen there and you're just writing down any information. And then if there's anything on the course that you're still not sure about after reading it, then you can just drop us a DM and we'll be happy to help you with that.
Does anyone get any questions? I know we've just spoke at you for the past kind of 5-10 minutes. Anyone, members or anyone new to the page, or is this your first time being on the live? Any questions you want us to answer before we kind of start on our next... I've got a little special here. You've probably seen it on Instagram already, but I've got something I want to cover off in a sec. So if anyone's got any questions, please fire away. The price of Bitcoin. Price of Bitcoin end of year. It's hard to say.
Aye.
It's hard to say.
Cryptocurrency's so erratic. It could be just a sum that you could never even imagine. It could be 160k. Like, it could be a ridiculous price, because remember Bitcoin was $1 before, and then people think, oh, it could never go to $10, and then instead of going to $10, it went to $1,000. So the sort of figures, it's hard to kind of get to a point.
I'd like to see 20k again, obviously. I'm not just saying that because it's the all-time high and it'd be amazing to see it. I genuinely believe that it's possible. 18,000 at least. But again, the big thing about the 10 grand marker and the 20 grand marker is very psychological. I know we've said that a few times, but the 10k one especially. Bitcoin's only spent about 5% of its lifetime above 10k, which isn't a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It's just the trading ranges that we always talk about every week. The kind of 9 to 9.4, 9.5, and then there's certain resistance levels all the way up. Again, I've kind of been speaking about it more freely on the page, you might have noticed, the past day or two, just to try and fill everyone in a bit more with the stuff that we talk about and the stuff that we chat about every other day to each other. Some of it might not make sense to you, and I understand why, but again, if it doesn't make sense, let us know it doesn't make sense. We'd rather that you tell us that you don't understand it and we help you, rather than you just reading something and thinking, don't know what it means, it looks quite good, it sounds quite financially, but I don't really know what it is. So if there's ever anything, obviously just send us a message at some point and we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible.
And getting back to the Bitcoin price, so the thing is, when it hits that, say 20k level again, that's when FOMO kicks in, like fear of missing out, and that's when the price it's undiscovered price ranges, and it's undiscovered, so it could hit 50k, 100k, 200k. There's price predictions all the way up to over $1 million, which is all possible, especially with the amount of money that the governments just keep printing out of thin air. So the more money they print, the higher the prices will go, because there's just more money to throw at it. And people in America, they get a stimulus check just through coronavirus, and a lot of people they're getting a stimulus check and they're just putting it straight into Bitcoin. So they're printing money and it's just flowing straight into Bitcoin. So the more they print, the higher it will go.
That stimulus as well that Deg's talking about is actually coming to an end soon as well. Again, anyone that follows the financial markets in terms of the economy and whatnot will be aware of that. So I believe it's the 31st of this month or next month. All the stimulus is coming to an end, so that will be obviously quite that will affect the markets, this economy and the financial markets. It will have some sort of play on Bitcoin as well, probably for the better. But again, who's to say? We really don't know. But so look out for that as well if you're interested in like financial markets. Look up into that because it's massive. That's, you think about it, there's been how many millions of people in America who've been unemployed and they've been getting paid by the government stimulus checks month by month, and it's just stopping. No one's back to work. There's still loads of people off work. People have just been let go. Companies have been shut down. So like, there's not enough space for all these people to get back into work after the virus has dispersed, if you like. So
you know, all these markets are all correlated. So your stocks, crypto, just all the markets are near enough correlated anyway, just with anything that happens in the world. So if you do see a kind of big fall in the stocks and shares market, then Bitcoin may take a hit, but it could go the opposite way. The money could flow from the stocks and shares market into crypto, and then that's when crypto goes even higher again. So it's a risk. Every asset class is a risk. Some riskier than others. People say that, well, crypto is a risky asset, but I don't know. We don't really feel it's risky because we feel that that's the way that money's going. That's the future of money. So we don't really find it. Obviously, it's risky to an extent, but I think that cash is even riskier because you're guaranteed to lose money on your cash every year.
You need to bear in mind as well is we've been in this long enough. We've essentially the past 2.5 years have been in a bear market, which means that we've watched our portfolios go from being in profit to being down like 84, 85, 90% for 2 years almost. So we believe in it. We don't really bother too much about it because we're educated enough to understand what's coming or what it's for. And I know recently, like we spoke about the Twitter hack last week, didn't really do much for Bitcoin. That used to affect it a lot more than it did, because obviously Bitcoin used to have a bad name when it was 1 year old, and it's now 10, 11 years old. So a lot can change and a lot is changing. The thing that happened last night with the US, the banks, we'll touch on that as well further. I want to kind of go into this. I keep playing about with my hand, but there's so much good news happening. It's insane. Like not every single minute of the day, but it feels like that. There's just news articles, and it's all just bullish, positive news.
And even through the bear market as well, like there was just a lot of positive news, just fundamental positive news, but it wasn't reflecting in the price. Like the price was just destined to be in a bear market for X amount of time, 2.5 years, and that was it. So we were getting positive news, like institutions investing, just a lot of positive. So because we know about the space and we are involved in the space, we can see all these positive fundamentals, but the actual price action just going down and down and down. So if you're inexperienced or if you don't know anything about the markets, then you just see the price going down, you just think, oh, it's going to zero, it's over. But if you learn and you actually believe in the asset that you're investing in, then you can see the price action go down and you're fine because you know
you're actually
happy. You can accumulate more at a lower price. So in a way we were thankful in a way that the prices were going down because you can just accumulate more. So that's why it's best to learn. Like if you just throw money into crypto now, that money can drop 80%, 90%. We're in a bit of a bull market just now, so that might not happen now, but it could easily fall 80, 90%. But if you've learned about the space and you understand what can happen, it won't affect you as much, and then you can just accumulate more. When it goes down 80%, you buy in more rather than selling it and losing all your money. So it's best to, like, education is key. You need to educate yourself. and that'll help you invest in.
That seems to be our new model that we've kind of adapted recently. Don't know where it came from. We've just started posting and speaking about it. Is get educated.
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds very. You can take it both ways. You can take it as quite a kind of forwarding message, like get educated, or you can take it as right. I need to get educated. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite a good word, or sorry, good words that we feel is straight to the point. It means exactly what it says. And it's, I don't know, it's just relevant for what we do. So
we're not telling you to throw your money at anything. We're not telling you to invest in anything. We're just telling you to learn. Just learn about it. Just you don't need. You can decide later down the line if you want to invest in it, but just learn about it first. It's new technology. It's like somebody telling you back in the day, 15 years ago, get educated about the internet, learn about the internet. Like you don't need to throw money into companies and the internet. Just learn about it, and then you use it. So you'll be using the bank that you use, say Santander, they'll be using cryptocurrency technology. So you're actually already using it. So you don't know. So just learn.
Banco Santander is the Spanish kind of version of Santander. Obviously we've got Santander in the UK and they've got Banco Santander. It's the same group, obviously. But Banco Santander for the past 2 years, maybe even longer, have been partnered with XRP Ripple. They basically got an app. I can't remember the name of the app. I used to have it on my phone, and that app was live. It was using crypto. It was using XRP 2 or 3 years ago. Again, Banco Santander were one of the first banks to kind of take that leap and look for adoption. And they actually just, again, it was recently they've upgraded it, their app and whatnot, because it's doing so well. So. You don't know. I mean, if anyone banks with Santander, I can almost guarantee you didn't know that. It's been like that for 2 or 3 years. So it just goes to show that you might think banks are safe, this is it, but you don't realise that banks in the background don't need to tell you what they're doing. They don't need. You don't need to know
what technology they're using.
Exactly.
How many banks are partnered with Ripple, roughly?
Bank-wise. Well, it's over 350 or some financial institutions, but I don't know bank-wise.
So just say financial institutions, so say there's 300, so they're under like, it's non-disclosure agreements, like that they can't say the technology they're using. So Ripple, the company, says we're partnered with such and such amount of banks. So these banks are under basically a secrecy agreement until that agreement runs out, whether it be this year, next year, 5 years, 10 years, and then you'll find out, oh, that bank's using this, that bank's using that. So these banks they're already utilising cryptocurrency, it's just you don't know about it yet.
That's the thing, everything's still testing as well. Like the sooner people realise that crypto, it's got a big name and you know about it and whatnot, but you don't realise how youthful it is actually, and it's like in the projection of what's going to happen. It's only 10 years old. Like the banking system's hundreds of years old, thousands of years old. Like so that's a comparison. Again, it just shows you like how quick cryptocurrency is adapting to the world that we live in now, compared to how banks are adapting. They're not adapting, and the only adaptation that they ever will do is towards crypto, because crypto's faster, it's safer, it's like
just better in every way.
Every aspect has been proven better. So leads me to our next point actually, since we're talking about banks, which was a perfect little kind of intro to this. So obviously you've seen it in the page today, the company called Plutos. So which I never actually knew the name or what it meant until I removed the card, and it says here that in Greek mythology, Plutus is the god of wealth. It's quite a cool little tie-in. There's a card there. It's quite a cool little tie-in. Just obviously you can see the kind of Greek.
It's powered by Visa.
So it's a Visa debit card. Essentially, what would happen is it's almost like a preloaded card to an extent. Again, this is the first issue of it. They're still a really new bank, but they are. I mean, the welcome pack here says, "Welcome to true financial freedom." That's what you're starting to find. Is a lot more of these small-time banks or blockchain-backed banks are popping up everywhere. There's probably about maybe 10 plus debit cards you can get now. I just chose this one. Just one of the guys that we watch quite frequently has kind of spoke about it, and I was like, oh, I quite fancy it. The benefit-wise, again, I've posted on the page, but you can earn up to 3% crypto cashback. So whenever you use your card, you're getting, so whatever crypto you're paying in, whether it's Bitcoin, whatever, you're getting that back 3%. Which is a no-brainer. It's better than your bank's paying, I can guarantee that, unless you bank with the Santander as they've still got the 1, 2, 3. But again, they're not going to give you money that's not theirs. But anyway, back to this.
Also, as well, it's decentralised as well, which is cool.
Aye.
Which your bank isn't.
Which it's safer for the get go. But like I said, 3% cashback on crypto, cashback on purchases, sorry, is a massive selling point. I would say.
Definitely.
Like all you need to do is move money from your, I don't know if you're, I bank with Monzo. So if you bank with Monzo, RBS, whoever it may be, you send your money from your Monzo RBS account over to this account, and then you just take this card out as you would to wherever you're going.
Link it with your Amazon account.
Link it anywhere. You've got an app on your phone as well, and again it's contactless, so it's the exact same as the actual debit card that you've got in your pocket or in your wallet or whatever. So again, adoption's coming. The reason I kind of wanted to post this and make a point about it was because we get asked about it all the time. Like,
how do you pay?
What can I do with my crypto? Like, what's the point in it? Blah blah blah. So this is not the point in it, but it's a very good kind of part of it, shall we say? Again, so if you're interested, message me or message the page. Sorry, after this, and I'll just send you the link. It's just we've got no ties to them or anything. It's just I just think it's quite cool. And I'm looking forward to actually trying to use it. It's quite a cool card. It seems like quite a cool company.
They had an offer on this month, as well. It was 5% cash back on, 5% crypto back on Amazon purchases as well. So if you're making any purchases on Amazon, you can make 5% on that as well.
It's all real life as well. Like, we're saying this, and I know it sounds like how are these little companies getting these big deals, but it's all real. It's all, we can check it all on the website. It's all genuine. It's amazing. It seems to have went, like, it's quite slow for the past couple of years because a lot of these companies were working on their projects.
Building in the background.
Exactly. Building as much as they could until now. So we always knew that Q3 and Q4 of this year were going to be quite big in terms of projects launching. So we already had that expectation set about a year ago. But it's just nice to kind of see it now after, like I said, surviving 2 years of just down. Every day waking up, it's down, it's down. But again, it drove us to learn more, invest more, get in at better prices, so that when times like this happen, when things are starting to rise, like, you may notice it, I don't know if you notice it or not, but we're obviously a bit more upbeat. Even on the page, we're starting to be a bit more upbeat and posting more about prices going up because it's exciting. It's so exciting when you've put so much work into stuff and you've read about stuff every single day of your, like, honestly, every single day we've either read about it or we've watched 10 or 12 YouTubers to get information. It's a full-time job. It feels like, more so now that we've got obviously Crypto Glasgow going. So very exciting. Still very early, which is the insane part, even though the prices are going up already. So plenty more to come for sure.
Market cap wise, can you check the market cap just now? I think it's maybe
280 odds.
280 billion. But the
4.5.
So the market cap's only 284 billion, which the room for growth is crazy. It could hit 1 trillion, 2 trillion easily. Don't know what the market cap of gold's maybe.
I'm trying to
the market cap of gold, I don't know, is maybe 6 trillion something.
The Nasdaq, which you may be familiar with, that's the kind of main stock as such in America, but that market cap is 10 trillion.
That's ridiculous.
Like, 10 trillion, and we're talking about 280 billion.
So if crypto when crypto hits 1 trillion, that's the gate. That's when you're getting your 100x, 1000x. That's
when it's Lambo.
and it's going back up. What was the crypto all time? And the gold market cap's 9 trillion.
The market cap for crypto in general got up to 750 billion. Let's try and find the exact. I can get it.
So that's just showing you the sort of figures. Like, so 9 trillion for gold, that's just one asset, gold. 7 trillion for the Nasdaq, and crypto's only 260 billion. So the room for growth is insane. That just shows you how early it is in comparison to the Nasdaq and gold market cap wise. And that's the cryptocurrency market cap as a whole. The is it 80 billion, 270 billion? That's over 2,000 projects.
Aye.
So the room for growth is it's astronomical. That's what gets us so excited.
You think of all the things that crypto are actually doing as well. It's all real world changes. Like, again, that post I put up last night about the rules of money. There's one in there. It was like, use money to solve world problems, and that was kind of like more of a point towards like crypto and what it's doing for the world, because again, there's so much more that we don't talk about that's actually happening with crypto. Like the one we spoke about 2 weeks ago, the African documentary on Bitcoin. Like, that's all to do with more so blockchain rather than like crypto and trading and whatnot. People are still buying it because they're starting to click on and realise, wait a minute, this is big technology, and it's running parts of Africa,
and it's not going away.
It's only going to get bigger. So again, we're early. We can't stress that enough.
It's if you feel you've missed the boat, it's extremely early. Just look at the market caps. The market caps are a perfect gauge to how early this market is. It's extremely early. You know, as Don was saying, all these projects are actually making changes. They're building, they're growing. It's such a new asset class, and it's just that's all it's going to do is just continue to grow over time. What was it that? The governments are just trying to make it look at a bad thing with the scare tactics, but as the future, the world needs this change.
It's true.
It's true. That's true. But
scaremongering. It's the media's bread and butter. It's all they know. Like, I don't want to talk too much about the media because it's a waste of time. I kind of had a bit of a go last week and said, if you still watch the media and still look forward to your morning paper, then you've got issues you need to address. But in fact, we were in the local, I think it was a Spar, or local, whatever it was, Tesco, last week or the week before. And I was like, Dad, watch this. We walked over to usually you walk into a store, it's got the newspaper
stand.
The stand. So there was maybe 7 or 8 different newspapers. Every single one, headline, negative news, negative. Somebody's been murdered. This person's committed suicide. This has crashed. This is shut down. It's just like, why would you surround yourself and why would you pollute your brain with that type of information?
Depressing stuff.
I understand it happens. I understand there's a lot of bad things in the world, but why invest so much time into them and then you just get surrounded by all these? I don't know. It's just
negativeness.
It's just negativeness, exactly. And we're big believers of what you put out is what you receive. And I'm a strong believer of, if you're going to be thinking and reading about negative stuff in the newspaper, it's got no relevance to you whatsoever, but you're taking it in, you're maybe chatting to your mates about it, you're maybe sending someone WhatsApp, oh, did you see that in the Sun today? Like, that, I mean, don't let me tell you need to stop, but at least just challenge your thoughts when you're reading them. Everyone knows surely that the media make a lot of this up. Like, it's big business, and negative stuff sells, unfortunately, and we all know that. You always hear bad publicity before you hear good publicity. It's just the way the world works and the way human beings work. But again, I'm going to maybe say this every week to try and kind of awaken everyone, but if you do still read the newspaper, don't. Or at least make the choice to try and remove yourself a little bit about that and read something that actually matters. Whether it's downloading Bloomberg or whether it's downloading the Financial Times or whatever it may be, just something that's relevant to the world. Now, the Financial Times covers news as well, like standard news, but it's more to do with stuff that will affect you. It's going to affect your money, it's going to affect your job, like not caring that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have fell out and whatever it is that's going to happen. Like, grow up. I'm
focus on you.
I'm going to get off on a bit of a rant here, but the media, I just want to make sure that people understand how twisted they can be.
And even if you're using kind of Bloomberg or whatever kind of financial media outlet, still use your own thoughts. So see the headline, see the information, but they put a twist on it, a spin on it to try and influence the way you think. Clickbait as well. So take in the information for these places and then just put your own thought behind it. Why are they telling me this? What is really happening? Why is that happening? Think for yourself. Don't just read it and believe it, because even the financial media outlets,
they still do it as well.
And they'll be gaining from kind of manipulating your thoughts. So they'll give you facts and figures, but then they might put a wee spin on it. So just you think for yourself. You see the facts, you see the figures, and then you decide for yourself, because they will just try and manipulate your thoughts, basically.
I guess what we're trying to say is just, I know it sounds like we're trying to kind of home in this, but it is so important. Just be careful. Just don't get too engrossed in what you're reading and believe it. If you do find a topic, and maybe, like, I'm not going to kind of put you down if you watch the Kardashians or if you follow this or you follow that. You do you, but I'm just meaning in terms of the media posts that they put out, the newspaper covers, like the kind of things, the articles that they put out about people. It's just I don't know. It's just, I don't find it relevant. You shouldn't kind of need to go to that to find out your daily news. Or even if you do it, read it, do your own due diligence, and just make sure that it is truthful before you start kind of believing it, I guess.
And the question as well was saying about the governments. Like, the government's trying to make it look bad. The governments are actually on board and accumulating in the background. So companies like, I think it's Bulgaria, I think might be one of the biggest holders of a cryptocurrency. So it's basically a big race. Like, every country's in a race. So say Britain, for instance, they couldn't just say, right, crypto's banned in Britain, because that will stunt Britain's growth in the cryptocurrency market. So they'll get left behind. So then America jump up, China jump up, they all get ahead, and then Britain's left behind. So these countries can't just ban it, because they're stunting their own growth as a country. Because cryptocurrencies, they make everything better, they make everything cheaper, they make everything faster, they make everything safer. The blockchain technology, stuff for voting, it just makes everything better. So these countries basically can't ban it or stunt its growth, because it will negatively affect them. So it's just so you get news articles going against it, but they're accumulating in the background. So there's so much information. That's why you just need to think for yourself, and just don't listen to all this information. Just think for yourself.
It happened with JP Morgan. Again, you can
That's
Google
right.
that. Just type in JPM crypto, JP Morgan.
Google
crypto.
Google that.
It's hilarious. So essentially, the CEO of JP Morgan for
Jamie Dimon.
I don't know how long he was doing it, but he was essentially bad mouthing Bitcoin, bad mouthing crypto. He was telling people if they invested in crypto that he would have them removed from his offices. You name it.
He would sack. He put out a message saying anybody that's caught dealing in buying any sort of cryptocurrency is dismissed immediately, sacked.
And then it turned out that the reason he was saying all that, but he was actually accumulating Bitcoin in the back.
His company was the biggest accumulator of Bitcoin, because everything, although Bitcoin's private and stuff like that, everything's visible. The network's visible, so
it's traceable. But
it's traceable.
Private.
It's pseudonymous, which is it's anonymous, but it's traceable. So basically, the figures said that Jamie Dimon, the guy, was actually the biggest buyer of Bitcoin, while he was saying in the news every week. So he was putting out statements saying Bitcoin is trash. Bitcoin, if anybody gets caught buying Bitcoin, you're sacked immediately. And he was buying the most of it. But the scary thing is that's legal.
And it just shows you
that's legal.
It just shows you, like, in JP Morgan are one of the biggest banks in the world, so they call a lot of shots. Remember, banks pretty much rule the world.
Yeah.
No matter what you think and what you say, unfortunately, that's just the truth. Money rules the world, and banks are money. So you've got one of the biggest kind of players in the game, I suppose, to an extent, buying shitloads, truckloads of Bitcoin, whilst keeping that's the thing as well. So these people have a lot of say. So he's put all this negative news out, which means the price the price isn't going to pump. Why would it pump if there's negative news? The price is going down, or the price is staying kind of consolidating. Again, it makes sense for him to do that. It means
he can buy lower.
Exactly. And then when it comes out that he has been buying it, and he thinks it's a good idea, then it pumps.
and then he puts out good press.
Exactly.
But there's a good saying. There's a good saying. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. What's the plans for the YouTube channel?
The plans is very early, to be honest. We're looking just to kind of do everything that we record live here. We're currently recording as well, so that we can put it on IGTV, obviously via the iPhone and the kind of the portrait shape, and then we're recording it landscape for YouTube. So it's just to kind of get ourselves out in every platform. But eventually we're going to work into a kind of mostly crypto. I mean, that's just our lives anyway. But a kind of lifestyle, kind of crypto. I don't know. It's a bit of a kind of hybrid. We're not 100% sure where it's going to go. We've got ideas, and we're going to I think we're going to just roll with it. To be honest, we're going to just record when we're out. When we're doing this, we're going to be recording. We're just going to record a lot more than what we used to.
Mainly finance, because we love money. We've always loved money. So whether it be crypto, whether it be precious metals, gold, watches, stocks,
any
just
kind of investment.
Any investments really. So kind of an investment channel.
But it'll
be lifestyle as well.
It would be cool to see the kind of behind the scenes. It's like some sort of Hollywood film, but just see what we do day to day. Maybe not much day to day because we're kind of a bit bored in the house. But if we're out and about and whatever it may be, just a bit more of a kind of vlog style.
Well, we see vlogs.
There we go. So yes, the vlogs. Again, we don't know if we're going to go with a kind of separate channel to keep it more just like a personal thing, but for now we're going to incorporate it into the Crypto Glasgow. And if you haven't subscribed and had a look, pop on, you'll see it.
Jump over to YouTube.
There's a link in the bio. So our link tree. If you don't know what link tree is, get to know. Again, that's the future as well. So if you click onto our bio, it's linktree/Crypto Glasgow, and it basically just lists everything that we've got linked that you'll need just to help you get started. But the most important one for now is obviously the YouTube channel. So have a look.
Will we see vlogs when you go Bentley shopping?
Well, you missed it last week.
Drop me hints.
So we're going to get a Bentayga hopefully for the business. Any excuse to buy a new car, I suppose. But I got rid of my car at the start of the year just ahead of COVID because I mean I knew what was coming. There was no point in having a car sitting out front when it was unable to drive. Financially, it made no sense. So unfortunately parted ways, but
that's more money to go into crypto.
Exactly. So I saved some money in my car, and I actually did put into crypto. So I probably put more into crypto than I should have, but
that's what happens.
Such is life. So
we'll be talking about figures as well on YouTube. So we're speaking about the Bentley and stuff like that. The sort of figures we'll be withdrawing profits. To go buy it. We're
going to be transparent, like as transparent as we can be without people kind of intruding our privacy. Because obviously, the investments that we've got it's our own money, it's stuff that we've obviously worked for and invested in. So we won't so much
go too much
in detail, but we'll talk about profit taking and whatnot and buy-ins, opportunities, and when we get the Bentley, we'll talk you through how we're going to finance that, or we're going to pay it in cash, or whatever it may be. We'll take you along because it's like. You're going to follow the journey, and you'll be in the journey as well. You've been in the exact same thing, so
that sort of stuff will mainly be YouTube.
We'll try and keep that solely on YouTube. You'll see stuff on Instagram, but we're trying to keep the Instagram obviously as focused on crypto and the kind of business aspect of it. But the YouTube will be a bit more relaxed. It'll be a bit more. Yes, it will be about crypto and it's about the lives, but you also get the aspect of us just being idiots, just out and about. Whether we're out in the car, out a cycle, out a walk, on holiday, whatever it may be, we'll be going live and we're recording it all, so it'll be fun. It'll be really fun. But look out for the Bentayga.
Sure. Depends. That could happen
next week.
It could be a few weeks, could be a few months. It's coming. I haven't invested in crypto. I have no knowledge.
Perfect.
Well, perfect. How should I start? So basically, how can you start? Follow this page for a start. We give out lots of free information on there, but if you're serious about it and you want to get into it, there's a startup guide, which is essentially a course that you can purchase, and that's on the link tree. The link's in our bio, or you can send us a message, and we could help you out that way. But
if it helps as well, this is the first live that you've joined. We've done about 4 or 5 the past few weeks, so just
Aye.
After this, go onto our IGTV,
Yep.
and you just look through a few of them. There's one in there that's about an hour long, so it's you might sit down and watch it like a kind of podcast if you like. There's a couple in there that are 20 minutes, 30 minutes, all just full of information that we spoke about. Even this, I think you've just recently joined like this live, so you've missed about 30 minutes or so of chat. So in about 5-10 minutes we'll have it uploaded, and then you can watch this as well, because you probably find we've spoken about quite a lot. Like questions that you would maybe not have known that you wanted to ask, we might have covered that off. So, but yeah. So first of all, welcome. If this is your first time, I appreciate it. And apologies about the random music you might have been hearing the past few weeks. The very first live that we that's pretty good. The first live that we done, we just had random like with Rick Ross and Young Thug and all that, and we just had our music on, and it got to the end of the live, and Instagram said it would get copyrighted, so it deleted the video. So
it's quite a good live as well. We covered a lot.
Aye, but we lost it. But now we need to listen to like copyright free music on YouTube. So it's pretty funky stuff.
I'm for sure going to watch those IGTVs. Good stuff. So if you watch it and there's any questions, let us know.
Let us know.
We've got a website as well, which is on the link tree. Everything's on the link tree basically, anything that you would need. But if there's anything that you need, you want to ask, just send us a DM.
For sure. Again, I posted this earlier, but just to kind of reiterate, it's up this week. Currently 42%. So it's dipped a little bit since I posted it. The coin's pumping up, and it's only.
And it's like these sort of figures. So Don was saying there, it's up about 42%, like only 42%. So when you're invested in crypto, these figures like 42%, like that's 42% in how long, a week?
Aye. You
become normalised to the size of the figures are huge. Like in terms of stocks, for a stock to raise 40% is humongous. It would take a year or whatever. That's happening in a week. And in crypto you can get 300% in a day. That's just unheard of in classic stocks.
You're talking your average good paying dividend stock gets you on average about 7% a year. And that's a good paying stock, and you're probably not going to guaranteed that either, especially now with what's just happened with COVID. But that kind of puts in perspective. 7% over a 12-month period, and a really good paying stock that you probably don't even know what it's called. Or that, for instance, that's a very small token, 42%. Like what? Or take for instance your bank account. Anyone that's got a savings account with RBS, NatWest, whoever you bank with. Go ask or go and find out what your savings percentage is.
Is it 0 point something?
It's zero. With the standard base rate was 0.1. I think it's changed to now. It was 0.25 for a while. When I used to work in an actual bank years and years ago, it was the best paying then was 0.25. Like 0.25. And we're talking about 42% being. I would put 42% and 0.25 in the same category. It's nothing. Which is bonkers. Like some of the ones there are just up 100%, 200% and just steady. They're just sitting. They've jumped up to 200% and now they're just consolidating, ready for the next leg up, to then consolidate for the next leg up. So
and like the new projects as well. So for instance, I don't know if it was maybe SIS. It's up like 7,500% since it actually went on the market. So 7,500%. It's just
try and calculate that.
Because the market's just so small. And so early, that's why it can have these massive, like in 10 years time, 20 years time, it'll be a bit more stable. There won't be as much volatile parabolic uptrends. It will just gradually go up slowly because there's more money invested in the market. But because it's so small and so many people are investing in it, it's just going parabolic.
It's insane. It's
that's the way it goes.
Like Dick's saying, it's because it is so small and it's so youthful. It has that. It's unfortunately a lot of it's manipulation, but it's
so easy to manipulate because it's so small.
Like you could sell 10 grand worth, and you would have some sort of effect, depending on what coin it is, obviously. But some of these lower tier coins, if you're moving 10 grand, that could you personally could affect a market, and it just shows you how small it is. Which is a good thing because as much as it's manipulation, are you that upset when you're getting thousands of % gains on your? What if you invested 100 quid or you invested £1,000? If you're a big investor, you put in 5 grand, whatever it is, and you're getting even 50% on that.
You're never going to get that. I can guarantee you're never going to get that in any savings account, any bond, any fixed rate bond, any ISA, any help to buy government ISA. You think the government want to give you free money? Help to buy ISAs are not good. Anyway, moving on. But these things, it's like the percentages are astronomical, and they do become, like Dec says, they just become normal. Like, it's insane. Like, there's one, I don't mind sharing, it's one, we just put a couple £100 in just as a kind of test. It's up 230%. It's like, I wish I put more in now, obviously I only put like £200 in, but can you imagine you put £1,000 into that, or you're big enough and you could put 10 grand into that, and you're getting 230, 240, 250% on that money within a week, within 2 weeks, within hours. I think I'm
that's just to show you the kind of possibilities. Obviously, as we say, we just lived through a bear market where it's just down, the price down, 90%, 85%. So, but it's just to give you both sides of the coin. Take the good with the bad, accumulate during the bad, get it at the nice low prices, and then just wait. And then times like this, when it's a bull market, just enjoy it. Set out your profit taking levels and buy Bentleys.
That's the moral of the story today. The whole point of this live is just to get the point across that everyone should go. Nah, I'm joking. Go buy a Bentley. That's what we want. And honestly, that's why we started this, because we've been in it so long. We're comfortable to start sharing our knowledge because it's second to none, I would like to say, obviously. But it's so that we can see everybody else
win.
Everyone wants to win. The whole team winning. That's essentially what it is. And hopefully you'll start to realise that week by week, and more so with the vlogs and whatnot, and that we're happy just to kind of help you learn. We're just helpers. We like to see people win. That's just natural. So again, if you're not kind of involved yet, you haven't spoke to us yet, drop me or drop Deck a message if you know us personally, or if you've got us on the page, just drop us a message. We'll chat whenever. Happy to chat crypto at any point in the day. Right guys, so thanks very much. That's the end of the video. So hopefully you took some information from it. Any questions you might have, get us at Instagram's probably the best place. Just at crypto.glasgow, just to reiterate that. In terms of YouTube, we're planning on uploading quite a lot, hopefully once a week to start with, and then a lot more as time progresses. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you've subscribed. Make sure you've obviously made a wee comment if you want. We can get back to you. Again guys, thanks very much. We appreciate it, honestly. Again, I'm out of breath because whenever I go on camera, I like trying to do some press ups to build some sort of confidence, so get used to this red face and out of breathness. I'll try and perfect it over time, but bear with me. Anyway, thanks very much. We'll see you soon.